What if I told you intelligence isn't permanent? Not in your 20s, not in your 30s, not even later in life. For years, we've been taught that IQ is something you're born with, genetic, fixed, and impossible to change. But when you look at the most intelligent people who ever lived, you see a different story. Albert Einstein was seen as a slow learner as a child. His teachers believed he simply wasn't very bright. Charles Darwin struggled in school and disliked formal education. Thomas Edison was expelled from school and described as incapable of learning. Yet these people went on to change how the world understands science, evolution, and innovation. So what happened? Their DNA didn't change. Their education didn't suddenly improve. What changed were the habits that shaped how their brains functioned. In this video, I'll walk you through 6 habits that research shows can actually increase intelligence, and how history's greatest minds were practicing them long before science understood the brain. Habit 1. Thinking without consuming. Most people assume intelligence grows by consuming more information. But neuroscience shows something surprising. Your brain actually becomes sharper when it's forced to think on its own. When you remove external input, the brain switches to the default mode network. This system is responsible for abstract thinking, reasoning, and creativity. In other words, the kind of thinking associated with high intelligence. Albert Einstein was known for doing this regularly. He didn't always rely on equations or calculations. Instead, he ran thought experiments in his mind. He asked questions like, what would it be like to ride alongside a beam of light? Or, what if space itself could bend? He would spend hours walking alone, just thinking. Modern research supports this. People who intentionally spend time thinking tend to perform better in problem solving, creative reasoning, and strategic thinking. A simple way to practice this is through daily thinking walks. No phone, no music, no input. At first, it feels uncomfortable and boring, and then ideas start to surface. That discomfort, that's your intelligence being trained. Habit 2. Struggle before seeking help. Smart people don't rush to answers. They sit with the problem longer than most. Psychologists refer to this as productive struggle. It's the process where the brain attempts, fails, recalibrates, and tries again. And that process is what strengthens it. Benjamin Franklin trained his brain this exact way. He would read a well-written essay, then set it aside. Later, he'd attempt to recreate it entirely from memory. He would struggle to recall everything before comparing his version to the original. That effort forced his brain to retrieve information and reorganize ideas. Brain scans today confirm this pattern. When you struggle, deeper neural circuits activate, far more than when information is simply explained to you. This is why instant answers feel useful in the moment, but fade quickly from memory. A smart rule to adopt is this: before asking for help, write your best possible solution, even if you're unsure, even if it's wrong. Struggle isn't a sign of low intelligence. It's the process that builds it. Habit 3. Write to sharpen thinking, not to archive. Most people write to record what they already know. Intelligent people write to figure out what they don't yet understand. Leonardo da Vinci is a perfect example. He didn't write polished essays. His notebooks were filled with questions, sketches, half-formed ideas, and contradictions. Writing was how he explored his thoughts, not how he organized them. Putting ideas on paper forces the brain to slow down. It exposes gaps in reasoning. It turns vague impressions into clear concepts. Studies from universities like Princeton and UCLA show that writing by hand leads to stronger conceptual understanding than typing or passive reading. A smart habit to build is a daily thinking journal. Not what did I do today, but what do I actually understand right now? What didn't make sense? What idea feels incomplete? Intelligence grows where thoughts are questioned and refined, not where information is simply collected. Habit 4. Build mental models. Smart people don't only know facts, they understand systems. Charlie Munger called this a lattice work of mental models. Physics explains cause and effect. Biology teaches adaptation. Psychology explains bias. Economics explains incentives. When the human brain learns across different domains, it becomes more flexible. This is called transfer intelligence, the ability to apply knowledge in new, unfamiliar situations. That's why polymaths have shaped history. Aristotle, Leonardo da Vinci, Goethe. Modern studies back this up. People who integrate ideas across fields tend to have higher fluid intelligence. A smart habit to adopt. Every week, explore one concept outside your main area. Don't aim to master it, just understand it conceptually. Your brain becomes stronger when ideas start linking together. Habit 5. Train your memory deliberately. Intelligence is built upon memory, not independent of it. Nikola Tesla, for example, could visualize entire machines, rotate them in his mind, and test them before ever building a single part. Ancient scholars practiced memory exercises on purpose because they understood that a sharper memory leads to faster reasoning and deeper understanding. MRI studies confirm that people who train their memory build denser, more efficient neural connections. A smart habit to adopt. Recall before you review. Explain concepts without notes. Teach what you've learned to someone else. Memory isn't a fixed talent, it's a skill you can develop. Habit 6. Protect your cognitive energy. Highly intelligent people don't try to think all the time. They think when their brains are at peak strength. Charles Darwin, for instance, limited himself to just 4 to 5 hours of focused work each day. The rest of his time was spent walking, resting, and reflecting. Constant stress, sleep deprivation, and non-stop stimulation actually harm executive function, the part of your brain that drives reasoning and problem solving. Your mind doesn't grow through non-stop hustle. It grows during recovery. A smart habit to adopt. Prioritize deep sleep, get regular movement, soak in sunlight, and embrace moments of boredom. Boredom isn't a weakness. It's essential for cognitive recovery and long-term intelligence. Closing. IQ doesn't rise through shortcuts or hacks. It grows through consistent habits. The greatest minds in history didn't obsess over being smarter. They created routines, practices, and systems that naturally expanded their thinking. You can do the same if you want to improve your IQ. If you found this valuable, like the video, share it and subscribe to the channel for more self-development content.